Okay, let's do this. Hey guys, hope you're going well. So I was doing this type of video every month a few months ago, and then for some reason I just kind of stopped. But let's do it today. Let's do a monthly wrap up of some of the things that I've been watching this month. And also it's just kind of nice to finish off the month to be like, okay, it is the end of November. Oh my gosh, it's the end of November already, and Christmas time is nearly upon us. And it's also just nice to be able to say hey, because usually when I'm doing my movie reviews, I'm just focusing solely on telling you about this movie and trying to do it in under 5 minutes, which is usually really challenging because sometimes, especially when I get passionate, I like to waffle a lot. A couple of days ago was Thanksgiving in the US, and I saw like all of my friends in the US posting about all their great food that they were eating, and all, like everyone was saying happy Turkey Day, and then there was the Black Friday sales and people were posting about all the madness and chaos that was happening, and I was feeling very jealous because this time last year I was living in LA. I spent Thanksgiving last year with my boss and his family and friends, and had a big, you know, Thanksgiving, traditional sort of Thanksgiving thing, and it was just really cool and a really fun holiday. So yeah, obviously I'm Australian, I live in Australia, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving here or anything like that, so kind of felt like I was missing out a little bit. Just as a funny little story, Thanksgiving last year, at one of the food items as part of the spread, still to this day I'm still confused by what it was, but somebody posted a picture on Twitter and I was like, that was it, that was the dish that I had. It's like mashed yams or sweet potato or something in a tray, and then you put marshmallows on the top and put it in the oven, and the marshmallows melt on the top, and it was the most confusing thing I'd ever eaten, but it was like a party in my mouth. Yeah. That was probably the highlight of my American Thanksgiving last year. Missed out on that this year, but really happy to see all you guys posting stuff on Twitter and Instagram and showing me all the like fun stuff that you were doing this Thanksgiving weekend. On to some of the things that I have been watching. I actually haven't been watching all that much this month now that I've come to sit down and start filming this video. It's actually been mainly television. My housemate is very organized. He's already started Christmas shopping. I can't believe it. I haven't even thought about Christmas shopping yet. Oh my goodness. One of the series that I just marathoned was the 8-part series called Outlander. I was recommended by a few of my subscribers who told me to check it out because I do like historical dramas a lot. And I'm going to mention another historical drama that I just smashed through and watched 2 seasons of. But first, Outlander. I do love the fact that this series has an incredibly strong female protagonist who is not just beautiful, but just has so many great qualities about her. She's got this great inner strength, and I love watching her, I absolutely do. The story, it's set in it's all historical, right? So it's set in 1945, the end of World War II. Claire is the name of the leading lady, and she finds herself transported back in time to Scotland in the 1700s. She has to figure out where she is, what she's doing, what the culture is like around her. She has to make sure that she doesn't get killed because she's English and the Scots are hating the English and the Redcoats at that time. There's a lot of war and clan war and all this sort of historical stuff going on in Scotland at that time. And then the biggest central plot going on in this movie is there is a romance underlying everything about it. So Claire in 1945, so call that present day for the sake of this, in 1945 Claire does have a husband, but when she's transported back to the 1700s, she sort of falls in love with, I guess, a young Scotsman named Jamie. Watching this series, I really could see that this is a lot about the female gaze. So you have this really strong female hero who we're following, and she's conflicted and torn between these two love interests: her husband, who is at home, who she's separated from and might never be able to get back to, and the man who's in front of her, sort of taking care of her and in her life at the moment, who's this beautiful young Scottish guy. Love triangle type of situation, and very conflicted of the heart and of the head. And I can see the market for this series. Let's just say it really is targeted at women, that I could see the market and the niche audience that they are going for with the writing of this this series. Not to say that I don't like it. I mean, I think some of the romance is a little bit cheesy. And it's also not just for women, of course. Like, my dad really likes this series, so I like the historical elements, I like the battle elements, but the romance was a little bit over the top for me. So that's a great segue into the other series that I watched 2 seasons of. I like smashed through it, binge watch style, couldn't help myself. That is Vikings, season 1, season 2. Oh my goodness. That is like, say, another historical drama, of course, and say it's Outlander, but without the romance element. But there is a very tender side to Vikings. Don't be mistaken. Opposites of the most intense, brutal violence that I might have ever seen in a television series, probably ever. I mean, I don't think that it's been this violent in, what are some of the other super violent series that I've watched? Maybe Sons of Anarchy? No, even that's not as violent and brutal. I don't even know what the words are. So brutal on one hand, but Ragnar Lothbrok, who is the leading hero, the lead Viking, who has the most intense blue piercing eyes that I just get lost when I watch him. What was I saying? So intense violence, yet Ragnar Lothbrok, he is a great hero because he has the most tender heart when it comes to his family. His family, his children mean everything to him, and so to see him be this wonderful, loving, caring father, and then when he's on the battlefield being the most brutal, grotesque beast of like manly man warrior. It's awesome. The other thing I love about Vikings and it being a historical drama is you have all this great underlying mythology of stuff that was happening in Scandinavia, and that Norse mythology, the gods, Odin, Thor, Freya, Loki, all those great mythology stories of that time, and I loved hearing them and the way that they scatter those stories throughout. Really cool series, really dug it. Season 3 of Vikings is coming out early next year, so I am holding my breath. I do feel like I waffled on a little bit, and I did have some other titles that I wanted to mention, but I don't want this video to go on forever. It was just a nice way to be able to sit down, say hey, tell you about a couple things that I've been watching. Let me know what I should watch next now that I've finished Vikings. I'm looking for the next series to get obsessed over, so please let me know what you're watching at the moment. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, keep up to date with my other movie and TV reviews, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye!